Limsa Lominsa, the bustling city of the sea. This vibrant port city is located on the southern coast of the island of Vilbrand and is the largest city-state in the region. Vilbrand itself is divided into two parts: Lanosha, vast and fertile grasslands whose coastline is where Limsa Lominsa is located, and the inhospitable region of Ogomoro, where a volcano, thick forests, waterfalls and mountains provide a beautiful yet very hostile land mostly unexplored by the Eorzeans. The history of Limsa Lominsa is deeply connected with the sea, and it is a city that has grown powerful from years of trade, commerce, and its hardy seafaring culture. It has earned the nickname the Navigator's Vale due to its beauty, named after the goddess Limlain, the patron deity of seafarers. The city of Limsa Lominsa was founded by the Maelstrom pirate crew, a fierce and independent group of buccaneers who once roamed the waters of Vilbrand. Needing a safe haven from authorities and rival crews, the Maelstroms established Limsa Lominsa as an isolated, easily defended port for them to use. And over time, this small harbor would grow into a large hub for seafarers from all across the world, from pirates to merchants to fishermen. And while Lanosha provides much in terms of food and resources, Limsa itself is built on small, barren islands in the water, and offer little but fish and the occasional driftwood for its settlers. Hence, her citizens are dependent not only on the sea routes, but also on the local farmers, miners, and other craftsmen who provide for their daily needs. The Maelstrom have remained the driving force behind the city's growth and success, ultimately transforming into both an administrative and military force in the form of one of the three grand companies of Eorzea. The Maelstrom are led by Admiral Merlwib Bloshvit are led by Admiral Merv. The Maelstrom are led by The Maelstrom are led by Admiral Let's not keep that in. The Maelstrom are led by Admiral Merlwib, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name, who fills the role of both commander and politician. Under her guidance, the Knights of the Barracuda, the former navy of Limsa, became integrated into the Crimson Fleet of the city, and its infantry force, the Yellow Jackets, were in turn changed into the city's law enforcement. While the Admiral is immensely popular with the common folk of Limsa Lominsa, many of her recent policy changes have been met with loud objections by the pirates who make their home port in the city. Indeed, not only has the Admiral claimed the title of Chief Admiral, making her the effective head of every single Lominsan ship during the conflict with the Garlean Empire, but she has also made the act of piracy itself illegal in the city's territory, which has caused mutters of unrest and even attempts to whittle away the power of the Maelstrom with the help of the local beast tribes, or worse. The Yellow Jackets are its own organization and formally separate from the Maelstrom, yet it is not unheard of for them to work under the Maelstrom during war, emergencies, or matters that may otherwise affect the safety of the whole city. To most burgeoning adventurers, the first friendly face they'll meet, stepping off the boat, will be one of the Yellow Jackets pointing them in the direction of the Drowned Wench, the local headquarters of the Adventurers Guild. Ships from all over the world dock here, bringing goods and people from far and wide. The city of Limsa Lominsa is also home to several important guilds, which have played a significant part in the city's growth. The Marauders Guild is one of the most prominent of these, and these fierce warriors specialize in close combat, and they are known for their strength and ferocity. The Marauders have long been the backbone of the Maelstrom, and their expertise in battle has helped the city defend itself against numerous threats. The symbolic axe of the Marauder is both a weapon and a tool, used in equal measure for providing lumber for their ships, as to separate their enemies' heads from their bodies. The Arcanists Guild is another important institution in Limsa Lominsa. These scholars and magicians specialize in the study of ancient arcane arts, and they are renowned for their ability to control and summon Aegises, small variations of the primals commonly worshipped by the beast tribes. Because of the multicultural nature of Limsa Lominsa, countless schools of arcane studies have gathered together and have formed a sort of melting pot of curious, explorative scholars who seek to push the boundaries of magic. Far less known, but no less influential, albeit secretly so, are the Rogues Guild, more commonly known as the Dutiful Sisters of the Edelweiss. They make their kip in the lowest levels of Limsa Lominsa and operate in utmost secrecy. Driven by a strong moral code, these gentle thieves may be criminals, but they care for the people that the Maelstrom and the Yellow Jackets don't see. Membership in the Rogues Guild does not come easy, and prospects will need to prove their skills in thievery to even be considered. Naturally, the martial guilds of the Limsa Lominsa are not the only ones who work to better the city. Known across the lands, the Culinarians Guild have taught countless cooks through its many years of existence, and the food served at its restaurant, the Bismarck, is a benchmark for all taverns to compare to. The Bismarck is famous for its seafood dishes, which feature fresh fish and shellfish caught by the skilled fishermen of the Fishermen's Guild. And for those with a sweet tooth, the city's bakeries offer a wide variety of pastries and cakes, many of which are made with the local ingredients harvested from fields and orchards of La Noscia. The aforementioned Fishers Guild is one of Limsa Lominsa's oldest, and while not as famous as the Culinarians, it still serves as a mecca for professionals and laymen alike to learn the finer points of fishery, whether it be which bait to catch a moray eel with, or how to land the legendary Silver Sovereign itself. The guild also has a marketplace where the citizens gather in the early hours to get the freshest catches for their meals. Last, but definitely not least, are the twin guilds of the blacksmiths and the armorers. The tall smokestack and the thick billowing gray bursting out of it impossible to miss. Whether one is looking for a well-balanced sword, a brutally efficient axe, or a decorative set of armor, these guilds will be able to help you out and, should they not have it in stock, they can easily conjure up miracles of steel and plate to your request. Limsa Lominsa are often at odds with two beast tribes, the fish-like Sahagin and the industrious kobolds. Formally, the kobolds have a peace treaty with Limsa Lominsa, but both sides have recently been testing the extent of this agreement, growing bolder by the day. The kobolds worship the earth, and their deity, the primal titan, is a manifestation of their people's will, driven to protect his children from the abuse of the Eorzean city-states. The Sahagin, meanwhile, can at best be described as having a tense relationship with the people of Limsa Lominsa. Often in need of shoals and coastlines for their females to be able to lay eggs, the Sahagin have had to encroach upon Lominsan territory after the calamity of Bahamut. This has led to an escalation of acts of violence, which dark forces have been exploiting for their own gains in order to further sow seeds of distrust between them. The Sahagin worship the mighty sea serpent Leviathan, master of the depth, and he is spoken of in hushed tones over grog at the Drowned Wench. Said to be longer than any ships and able to coil himself around them multiple times, he has instilled a great sense of dread in all but the least superstitious of seafarers. The population of Limsa Lominsa is varied, although there is a large amount of Rogadin making up its numbers, since the Maelstrom having originally been mostly of their kind. It also has its fair share of Hure, much like every other city, but aside from that it stands out in comparison to Gridania and Ul'dah in how varied the city is. Even some beast tribes are welcome to trade in the sprawling markets of Limsa, as long as they behave and follow the law, but it is far from unheard of for them to suffer harassment by the locals who don't appreciate their business. Limsa Lominsa is a city that values hard work and self-sufficiency, and its people are known for their resilience and resourcefulness. Despite its rough-and-tumble reputation, it is a city of culture, and one that has withstood countless storms. Thank you so much to my patrons who help support me in my work. Bambi Parsons, a leader with an unbreakable will, and a Methuselah Her Satanic Majesty Danny, whose presence chills the blood, and Socrates Johnson, a scholar and masterful craftsman of stories. We would also wish to thank the Primogen Council of Alexander Kishtaria, Lauren Eason, Nikolai Marius Wojkolescu, Prozion, and The Only Body. We also raise our cups in a toast to the Elder Non-God for his support. And finally, thank you for watching, Warrior of Light. May the light of Hydaelyn ever shine your way.